Terry, why do you need bubblegum again?
Kilo 8, Golf, Quebec.
What is up, Ham Radio? Victor Alpha 3, Papa Zulu November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by. Your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Hump Day. It means it's time for the Hump Day Happy Hour. And hopefully we're going to have a great stream, just like my great day. But before we get started, we're going to thank the Patreons first, because they are absolutely awesome people. And they keep me rocking and rolling and doing all this crazy stuff that I like to do. Also, a big shout out to the YouTube members. Thanks each and every one of you, even though some of you guys are really scared to be rovers. I don't know why. I wasn't scared to be a rover today. And then the ever-changing board. Shout out to Kilo 9er Alpha Echo Echo for the off-stream donation. Got everything updated since we didn't get a chance to do on Sunday. And that's where we're at with that. Dan, what is going on?
That's where we're at. That's all I got to say about that. Man, I'm doing good. Y'all had a great day today. Let's run through the chat real fast. Andy Cowley, always number one, buddy. So thank you very much for being here. Ronnie, Kilo Oscar 4, Zulu, Romeo X-Ray is in the house. RFing around is right behind James, probably throwing milk duds at him. Welcome. Larry, Victor Echo 3, Lima, Bravo, India. Good evening from Victor Alpha 3, Papa Zulu, November Country. That's right. Kelly, good to see you. KI4JAV. Oh, Tata is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Mike, 88KB. Larry Bingham, Paul Hopman, Liz and the fam up in Michigan. Good to see you, Brent. November 4, Bravo, Delta Whiskey. Thanks for the QSOs just a couple minutes ago. November 8, TIN from one Dan to another. Always welcome. Kilo 8 Golf Quebec is in the house. Good to see you. Kilo 8 Golf Quebec is in the house. Good to see you, Terry. Brian Victor Echo 3 X-Ray November Sierra, another one of the Rove partners here. Oh, I almost forgot. Kilo 8 Golf Quebec, you're in the house, and always good to see you. Kenny Adams, KC5MJE. Good to see you. Martini at KO4FSZ Antennas. November 4, Charlie Whiskey Bravo is here. Paul, KJ5GKK, good to see you. And, Kilo 8 Golf Quebec. Good to see you, buddy. And happy Wednesday.
That's right. Happy Hump Day.
Oh, almost forgot XO. Ron Chris, Georgia Parks and Propagation. Good to see you, buddy.
That's right. And I tell you what, this puppy's pooped. I'm tired. We got a bit on the early side this morning for me, for sure. So, but we did accomplish a 20 park rove, even though we said we were doing 15. We did accomplish a 20 park rove today. Had a really good time, and we're going to talk about that as well as many other things. But before we do that, I'm going to drop a link in the chat, and for those people who are in the HRAG Triple C competition, that would be the Canadian Chasers Club. Is that what we call it, James?
I think so.
I think the Canadian Chaser Club, Canadian Chaser Challenge, whatever you want to call it. You can go to this page and see where you're at, and it tells what percent you are. It is not up to date, and it may not be up to date if James don't find the logs from today, because he seems to have misplaced 20 logs.
You're supposed to log these?
Yeah, evidently we're supposed to log them. I
Yeah.
didn't know. I didn't know that he didn't know that, so that might be my fault.
I didn't know the Canadian rules for POTA. I thought logging was optional. So,
But hopefully he'll find those things, and we'll be up to date later this evening after this stream. But anyway,
y'all fooled me. You snuck another park in there. My percentage is going to be thrown off here temporarily.
yeah. Well, here's the thing about it. Okay, so with the Canadian Chasers Club or Challenge, whatever you want to call it, we decided that you got to get 73% of the parks that I did, not the activations, the parks. So therefore, when we added that last minute park, because when Dan thought we were done, that was one on the way home because we just decided, hey, we got 19, we might as well get a 20 park Rove.
Yeah.
But luckily, was the closest one of the Rove to us, and I'll be doing that park again. So Dan or anybody who did miss that one particular park still can get that one, just like any park that I've done up till this point today. The other 19, if you miss those, I won't be going back to those.
Terry said,
some of the trails I will, because they go different places. But
Terry said your 20 park Rove for today was, just a practice practice day, a little warm up.
It kind of is a warm up. We got a lot more roving to do, and I did want to talk about a couple of things about that, and because I've seen a couple of different questions and comments and stuff, and there was a couple people that was aggravated because they didn't get us at every park or this, that, and the other. Guys, you got to remember, I know some of you guys ain't been doing POTA, but when we are on a speed rove, typically that's 12 and out. We were generous today. We were really generous because most of the parks we got at least 20 at. Some of those parks we got, there was a couple parks we got almost 100 at.
Yeah.
So we were really generous to be on a rove like that. Typically a speed rove is like 12 and out, guys. So you got to remember that you can't, unless you're sitting there watching, and the dedicated people were sitting there watching. Let me tell you, there were several people who got us at all 20 parks.
And in case you're watching this now and you did not know that they went on a 20 park Rove today, I'm going to drop the link to our Discord a couple of times in the chat here. Join up. It doesn't cost you a dime because most of these were posted in our POTA Spots channel and not on POTA.
I think maybe 2 of them got posted on POTA.
That's right. So if you're listening to this right now going, what Rove? I didn't see any POTA spots. They weren't on POTA. Join the Discord link I just put in the chat and come join us. A lot of fun.
That's right. And shout out to Discord. There was a couple people from Discord. Alpha Delta 2 Charlie Delta leading the charge, holding frequencies for us and letting us know what was clear so we could just pull in and get those short numbers and come. But now here's another thing. Most of the parks when we left no one at. It went dry and then we went QRT.
Yeah.
So, it was just the fact that you didn't pop in when we spotted, but we got the people that was there waiting. So there's that. Another thing I seen is, yes, you do log me as Victor Alpha 3 Papa Zulu November. That is my call sign while I'm here. So that is what you log me at. I know there's no QRZ page. I will remedy that after this stream, but it's actually set as my primary POTA call right now. So that is how you log me, and I will fix the QRZ issue just as soon as this stream is over. So.
Yeah, Toby did a great job running the Nutter Butter net, the Nutter Butter Hunter net. That's what we were calling it. Yep.
Yeah. It would tickle me. It would tickle me when I turn on a frequency and I'd hear Toby running a net, and I was like, "Yeah, here we go." I heard she ran the POTA Hunter net today. She ran quite a few nets, so it was really really good. And I think she's actually going. We're giving her all this praise, and I think she's got a club meeting this evening. But I'm sure she'll rewatch it, and we really appreciate that very much. It was really
Yeah, man.
good.
Congrats on getting your Victor Alpha call sign, passing the Canucken exam, eh?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this, guys. The Canadian test is harder than the U.S. test. It is definitely harder. I promise you that. So if you're ever deciding to get it, you're gonna have to study harder than you did. And,
Is it harder because it's in the King's English and you have to use a quill and a pen and do it by candlelight, or why?
well, it's harder for multiple reasons.
Okay.
So in America, we take a test for tech, where we have a 35 question test, and we take a test for general, where we have a 35 question test. And our pool is around 7 something if you added those two pools together. I think it's like around 780 or something like that. Here, you take what they call basic, and if you score 70%, you get basic, which is equivalent to our tech. If you score 80%, it's equivalent to our general. But their pool for this test is 1,000 questions,
Gee.
and their test is 100 questions.
Wow.
So if you remember when you took your extra and after 50 questions you felt like your mind was going to explode, you got 50 more questions.
Wow. That's crazy.
And out of every practice test, okay, so also in the United States, there's only so many different tests that you can take. Up here, that's unlimited because they're randomly generated from a page. And I was actually practice testing off that page, and I never once got the same test out of all the ones I took. And every test I took had a question that I'd never seen before.
Yeah, I imagine with 1,000 different. Well, yeah, geez.
So it's definitely a harder test. So, hats off to them. They're making people learn their stuff. But
so that's for the basic and the basic with honors, I believe they call it.
Mhm.
What about is there something higher than that you can shoot for?
There is advanced, and now it's only a 50 question. I don't know what the pool is.
Does that come from a different pool entirely?
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
crazy. I mean, some of the questions may be the same.
Yeah,
but
that is awesome. Brent, sorry for mistyping. Am driving. Pay attention to the road, brother. Just listen. Just listen. Kilo Oscar 4 Golf Bravo is in the chat, dude. If thank you so much for being here. First of all, thank you for what you're doing up in North Carolina right now. Saw a couple of videos that you posted, and thank you so much for being up there. And if any of our ham people are in Florida, Central Florida right now, especially, come north, come to Valdosta, move out of the way. Don't try to weather this thing out because from what I'm seeing, it's gonna be nasty.
Yeah, I was able to encourage my mom to evacuate out of there. Unfortunately, I could not do the same with my sister. She wants to say that it's fine. We've had these before. Not like this. You haven't.
Right.
This is no joke. So my prayers to the people for Central Florida. This is going to be a big storm unless something changes drastically.
Yeah, for sure.
But the other thing that I was going to say is, even though the Canadian test, the words are spelled in English, they're English words, but they're not phrased in English. So you better really understand what you're reading. That's another kick. But I'm glad it's over. Actually got a shirt on right now. Victor Alpha 3, Papa Zoo November. From my new club that I'm now an associate member of.
Very nice.
Yes.
Can you use the club call sign?
I cannot because only officers can. But I am now a member of the Great Canadian Beer Club. So
awesome.
What was that? Unless it's a club event. Yeah, unless it's a club. If it's a club event, I could use it, but I couldn't just use it. So
Larry says there's no manganese in Canuckland.
there is now. There has already been some manganese down here, but anyway, that's what I'm talking about tonight. Is my first couple of days here, and that's one of the big things. I went to their club meeting last night and had an apps. I was actually the guest presenter, and I was really really happy with it. They had lots and lots of good questions for me, and it was a really really good time. Had a great time meeting a lot of people, and
I saw a behind the scenes photo of that. They had some pretty fancy dancy video equipment there.
yes,
That was
yes,
pretty good. I like that.
yeah. So for the people who couldn't come to the meeting, they do like Google Meets and
That is
stuff.
awesome.
So there was people online watching and asking me questions as well. It was a really good time, and of course, I got to meet the person I wanted to meet. I got to meet Miss Victor Echo 3. Come on, say it for me, Dan.
Yeah. What's the rest of her call sign?
Romeo,
Yeah.
November, Hotel.
Hotel. Okay, gotcha.
There we go.
Paul said, do you need to convert metric to US units? I assume he means for the test, but the first thing that came to my mind was he sees a speed limit size that says 110. He's like, I like this place.
No, it's funny because when we're going down the road and I happen to look up and James is going like 130.
Right.
I'm like, wow, we're going to get to the park any second now. I mean,
I'm never going to 130.
I mean, when he's going like 70.
Yeah. You'd never go 130.
But another thing, they were fussing about the price of diesel, and I looked up and I was like, it's only $1.85, and they're like, that's per liter.
A liter.
so times that by about 4, and that's what it would be for a gallon. I was like, oh yeah, that is kind of high.
Do we even serve liter of cola? Oh man, it sounds like you're having a blast, dude.
Dude, I'm definitely having a blast. And speaking of Pat, I'm going to be able to do something that's going to be of great pleasure to me. Pat is going to go out with us and do her first activation here in a couple of weeks.
Awesome.
When we get some of our rows done. So that's going to be really, really great.
That is awesome.
But yeah, you know what? It was a great time at their club meeting, and I've had a great time since I've been here. Especially picking on Tom, and I haven't picked on Brian too much, other than listen. You can tell Brian's ex-military because Duke could sleep in any position. I mean, if he's like this, he could sleep. It doesn't matter,
Being a hard concrete floor upside down, yeah, he can still go to sleep.
Absolutely. But he did a good job logging today.
If you can find the logs.
Yeah. Well, now it wasn't Brian's fault. Brian sent the file to James and then cleared it. And then I don't know what James has done.
All right, so here's a question from Hamville, from a Canadian, so I don't feel so bad about asking it. What don't you like about Canada?
What don't I like about Canada?
Besides the fact that everywhere you go, you step in like moose droppings.
Okay, there's too many places that does not have Dr. Pepper. There's too many places that does not have Dr. Pepper. Let's see what else. That might be it.
PP Man says speed limit.
I'm not driving, so the speed limit doesn't bother me. Honestly, I'm having a good time here. I have no complaints other than, like I said, every place don't have Dr. Pepper. Every place should have Dr. Pepper. They have different candy bars than we have. Oh no, here you go. They don't have Right Guard deodorant. And I'm a Right Guard man, so that's it. And one other thing, Larry. You didn't work us on 2 meter today. We tried. But we'll be going down to Hamilton here in a couple of weeks and hanging out with them guys as well. And got a lot of good stuff coming up. So,
hey Tom,
right after the 18th and 19th activation, we told you when you caught in, we're going to 2 meters next.
Confederation Park.
The Confederation Park.
Brian may have give you some help here. It's called Gillette, not Right Guard.
I don't know.
Yeah.
They got, listen, just to make sure, if James does not find these logs tonight, everybody who made contacts with us who would want to know a log can email Kilo 8 Golf Quebec and give him their contact information.
Yes.
And he'll make sure I get it. My email's totally flooded, so Terry graciously volunteered to get all the contacts and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome, Terry. Thank you. And never mind what I said earlier about not getting you at all 20 parks, because apparently I did.
No. Oh, because you're emailing Terry.
Yeah, right.
There was several people that got us at all 20, and some of them got us at all 20 on multiple bands even.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, 40 went to poop pretty early, probably about 10:30.
It did, but it came right back.
And I mean, I was happy to get you once or twice in a park that day. I figured y'all stay on 40 most of the time. I wasn't really mad about it. I just work on until 40 falls out. But then y'all went over to 20. I'm like, oh, this is good too.
No, but yeah, it definitely came back because we finished pretty strong on 40. A couple parks we did 20 and 40.
Yeah.
A couple times we used a wire today and was a little wider. But you know what? I'm going to tell you what, Mr. Whiskey Zero, Charlie Golf Charlie, you sure did make an awful lot of hamstick contacts today, buddy.
Let me tell you, man, 20 today was weird. It was running short and longish at the same time. So I could hear y'all fine up there, and I could hear North Carolina. I could hear Tennessee, which I normally don't hear on 20 at all. I was hearing Josh in the mobile on 20 meters. I was like, wow.
There was some short contacts made on 20 meters today. So, because we were working people, over in New York, basically across the river, because we was in the Niagara region. We did go down to Niagara Falls today. My first time there. Very beautiful place. Was super happy.
Was it moist?
Go ahead.
Was it moist?
It was moist. The closer you got, the moister it got.
I got you.
Yeah. But there may or may not have been a epic contact made there. May or may not. That's all I'm going to say. We'll just have to see.
Yes, sir. Yeah, hopefully 20 will be the same tomorrow too. That was a great day on 20. Just from,
I think I made Tom a lover of the spark plug antenna, but I found out a way that it does not work well. So running a sloper with the bottom end, the end that's normally 2-3 foot off the ground, about 8 to 10 feet off the ground. Yeah, that SWR don't work very well.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, probably. Okay. If you're more than, hey, check out this King's math here. If you're more than a meter or so off the ground, the reason why I think it didn't work so well is basically with that spark plug, you're going to use your coax as your counterpoints, right? When you're more than a meter off the ground, that makes your radials elevated. So that radial or that counterpoise has to then be tuned.
Yeah, well, the coax was also way off the.
Yeah.
So what happened was we didn't really have nowhere to put that end, so we threw a piece of coax over the branch, and we're just using the coax to hold it up. But James said it was 2 or 3 meters up in the air.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. The higher
I've never seen the spark plug have.
Yep. The higher you go with your feed point, I think if you're going to run a counterpoise of some sort with it, it has to be tuned at that point. So that's probably why. But good to know. Yeah.
But we ended up laying it on flat on the ground since we didn't have no other way to do it, and we did really good. We got where was that park to park we got? The
Barbados.
we got Barbados park to park even, so good stuff.
The old 8 Papas. Yeah, they've been on a lot down there. Ishmael and Ken. Yeah,
That's what it was.
Yep.
Yep. So really good stuff. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up. Next Monday, I believe it is, we leave, and we're going on our 3 days worth of roves, and that is a 20, a 20, and a 25. With one park being worked every day, which will be the home park. Like I said, the good news about that day is that those rows are, I'm staying in a park, so in between the time, if I don't have somebody from the PZN challenge, I could work them easily. So that's the good thing about that. Because I did stress it a little bit today. We got most people fairly early. Charlie Whiskey Bravo came in a little bit later, but other than that,
but when he did come in, he came in. Boy, he was loud here. Let me tell you,
he was loud here too. It was very fun, and it was funny because at one time I put hopping, and James was running the radio. I didn't know where he was going to go. And he said, it's just frequency in use. And then all of a sudden we got loud blares of people. And I was like, where did you go? He said, your frequency. I was like, oh, no wonder. So it was a good time though. We had a really, really good rove, and I enjoyed Niagara Falls. Got some really good video from that. I videoed almost a little bit of footage at all the parks too, but a lot of that is going to be vehicle footage. So somehow, but we did have, I think we had 2 parks that we had to walk into. So we ran wire on both of them. So that'll definitely be a long edit, because I'll tell you, I got a lot of footage to look through. That's for sure.
What Niagara Falls? What part has the best views, the best scenery from the U.S. side looking into Canada, or Canada looking back to U.S.?
Well, here's the thing: the Canadian side is currently not a photo park. The U.S. side is a photo park. So you can see both falls from the Canadian side just fine. I got pictures of both falls, but I'm going to tell you the Canadian side is a lot nicer. The falls wise, it's a lot bigger. Hey Chris, thank you very much for the super chat. Dan, what you're going to tell me what he said, because we all know I can't see it.
Yep. He said you guys were the second QSU on Kilo Oscar 4 Sierra X-Ray Hotel's new antenna that he was tuning and making for him, and he's going to be back on the air hunting in no time, because it's going to ship out. Well, it did ship out this morning.
Good deal. You know, glad.
Well tested.
Glad people chipped in, helped Chris out with that and stuff like that, and great job. You picked a good station to test it on for sure. So good stuff.
It'll be good to get him back on the air and in Asheville, and when he gets his power back, get him at least somewhat back to normal. So
absolutely. So I'm hoping everybody's already updated their ham alerts to add my Canadian call. I did put out a YouTube short to let everybody know that yesterday. So it was really funny, because when we first got to the club meeting yesterday, you know, call was a couple hours old. We got there and they started going around the room for everybody to, say their name and their call sign. And when I said, my name is James, and I said Victor Alpha, as soon as I got to Victor Alpha, all kinds of people started cheering. So it was really great. So
yeah. Add the new call to your ham alerts. And if you don't know what it is, Victor Alpha 3, Papa Zulu, November.
that's right. Yeah. It's that is not a joke, guys. That is a legit call. And I will be using it on any of my Canadian excursions from now on.
He had to memorize 1,000 answers to 1,000 questions for that call sign.
And you know what's funny? And you know what's really funny? So the first activation I did with it, I did not mess up a single time. Never once called myself Kilo. I did it one time today, and that was when I was saying this is frequency in use.
Mm-hmm.
I said Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zulu November, but that is the only mess up that I've had. Is like it was just meant to be my call. So really great stuff. I do not want to study and get any other call signs in any other countries.
Right. Let's see. Paul, Kilo Juliet 5, Golf Kilo wants to know if you'll be activating on 20 meters tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I'm sure I will. I don't know the exact plan for tomorrow, whether I'm going out with Tom or if I'm going out with James after work. But tomorrow will probably not be very many activations at all. 1 or 2 would probably be the max. That would be my thoughts. But I'm sure I would. So I'm sure I'll do 40 and 20.
They're not up to letting you go out unaccompanied yet.
Yeah, they don't trust me yet. I don't think.
Chaperone. You need a chaperone.
They're still chaperoning me. I mean, they let me walk off with just Brian, and the first thing I did was claim a fort, and then they started having to pay parking passes for taxes. So they don't seem to trust me very much. They think I'm going to claim too much stuff. And they don't understand that I really plan on taking the moose back on the plane. Now, I've acquired my emotional support animal tag for my moose. So, they don't get it.
Josh wants to know if you got starved out because they kind of kept lunch from you for a couple parks there, and you were kind of, in your own words, famished.
Yeah, I was famished there at the end for sure.
Greatly distressed.
Oh, here we go. Yes, I was greatly distressed.
Distressed, yes.
Yep, I was greatly distressed. So, So did you know distress is a more powerful word in Canada than an emergency?
So a distress is higher than emergency.
Right. In Canada, a distress means life threatening, and an emergency could mean you spilled coffee on your laptop.
Okay, I understand. But from your laptop's point of view, your laptop would be in distress.
Whereas in America, you ask somebody how they're doing today, and they're like, I'm just distressed. I got so many bills to do this month, and blah 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 blah. They don't say it's an emergency. I got to pay bills, but yeah.
So if you call 911 in Canada, do they say 911? What's your distress?
I don't know. Is 911 the number up here, James?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, it's 911. So we'll have to we'll have to grab James's
1-900.
1-900.
Go ahead and try it. Yeah. Brian XNS has a good point. Let's go ahead and try it. So give him a call now and no, don't.
You get your cell phone down here, James?
No.
That's
You,
that's great.
but Canadians are so polite all the time. The 911 operator would probably say, "Thank you so much for calling your local distress support center. How may I assist your distress today?"
If I called 911 up there and they said, "What's your distress?" I'd say, "I think I'm done with this."
Not enough gravy on the poutine.
That's what everybody keeps asking me. Have you? No, I have not had it yet, guys. It's coming. I promise you. I'm gonna have the poutine. I'm going to eat ice cream, and James is going to show me exactly what cow it came from. Exactly what cow.
We need a short or video of the poutine reaction, like your first bite, the honest reaction of it. I think that would be cool. Yeah, to fit into Canada, Larry says, to fit into Canada, you need to say "a" and "sorry." Sorry. You got to sorry it.
Sorry.
Sorry,
guys.
Sorry, eh?
That's what I'll tell them when they come in so rudely and try to take over my frequency. I'll be like, "Sorry, guys. You should have been more polite."
Yes, and a boot. I am sorry about your distress.
That's just crazy. Anyway, thank you very much, Terry, for the super sticker, and I'm hoping that's to tell me you've got no emails yet with people or lots of emails, people confirming their log with you, because I really need everybody's log sent to Terry, who worked me today, because I want to make sure that we get this. And we appreciate Terry being the person to collect all the calls for us and stuff like that. Terry's a really good guy for that.
He's scrambling right now to QRZ to change his email address. Oh, we love you, Terry.
PP Man calls Tom today, and that's what he wants to know. Has he tried poutine yet?
Well, that was the reason why you were going to go up there. You don't need all these new parks or anything, right? You just wanted to try poutine.
No, I don't need to get like 20 unique parks to me today without driving like 4 billion hours. No, I don't need that at all, do I? Out of all the activations I've done, I think I did one repeat. What is it? Because it's a twofer. It's 2 repeat parks so far.
I can imagine in my head the smile on your face every time you pulled into a new park that you haven't been into yet. You're like, ching, one more.
Mm-hmm. and what's crazy is when we go camping next week, all of those parks, besides maybe the trails, are going to be new to Brian and Tom too, and a lot of them are going to be new to James. So,
awesome.
Now what? Oh, by the way, you may need to get up with James and help him on the thing. You guys are going to revoke PP Man's ability to self-upload unless he's doing QRO, because he is losing his QRP license now because he's refused to come camping. So he's going to lose his QRP license, and he's going to have to start doing QRO.
We'll just put a check in there to say if the call sign getting uploaded is KE8PTX, there has to be a power column in the ADIF, and it has to be above 20. Oh, that would be great.
Poor PP Man.
I got him a couple times today. I think 20 meters because 40 wasn't open. I got him a couple times on 20 today. So
he didn't get us none. He didn't bother to hunt with us.
Yeah, he was kind of activating between your stops, which was kind of weird. It kind of lined up where I could just kind of bounce back and forth. And Mike says life gets in the way. Man, I hear that, brother. It does.
Well, I'm going to give you a life lesson there, Mr. PP Man. When you retire, you got all the time in the world. You chose to work again.
He's already retired. Brian says Taylor says hi. Hi,
Oh,
Taylor.
speaking of Taylor, I'm glad he says hi, Taylor. You know what? You were at school today, so I'm going to let you off the hook for most of those. But the last couple parks we were in, you should have been at school and you should have been making contacts toward that 1,000. You're never going to get that coin without hunting, young man. Oh.
Busy day. That's what he said. Now, see, Terry says the same thing. So Terry says, it's busier now that I've retired. I guess it's busier doing the things that you wanted to do, not that you have to do, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know how Terry could be busier because Terry used to spend his day every day running up and down steps.
I made a comment in our Discord of this earlier today. I said, did everybody know that for the last 2.5 years of Terry's career, the state of West Virginia paid him to hunt you? Pretty much,
Yeah, pretty much. And to keep himself in shape.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks into retirement, he gets a bum knee because he can't walk straight.
That's right. Because he
don't understand that.
He wasn't using a Stairmaster every day.
Speaking of Terry, when I'm not in the Kingdom Capital, what is your job? What is your job, son? It is to keep people who does not have permits out of the Capitol. I've seen multiple people activating in West Virginia today that did not have a permit. So unless you're issuing permits, which you're not allowed to do, you're in trouble again. Matter of fact, I even found a lady for you on a super ritzy hover round today. And I didn't even give her your number because I got angry about all these people. But you would have liked this hover round. It was state of the art Ritz. Had doors and everything.
I was going to head up and go camp in 1810 for the next 3 weeks just to see how close I can get to your number.
Well, that's fine because you're the hand of the king. You've got a permit. You could enter the throne room.
I wonder if I did nothing but radio for 3 weeks straight and slept 4 or 5 hours. I wonder how close I could get.
Halfway.
Yeah.
If you did 24 hours a day,
that'd still be a feat, though.
Yeah, halfway would be a feat.
Yeah.
Terry, have you been confirming my logs yet? Are we getting them done? I'm hoping to get everybody in by the end of the stream.
He was out early was it today you were out early or yesterday, Terry? He spotted at like 7 something in the morning.
Dude, every time he goes out, he's like out at like some ridiculous. When I left to fly to Canada, I had to be at the airport at 4:30. And I landed, we didn't fly out till 6, of course, but I landed in Georgia at 7 o'clock, and I think he was on his second park.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
Because I wanted to give him crap. I was like, oh, you've only activated 2 parks? I'm already in Atlanta.
Actually, compared to larger airports, Atlanta is not that badly laid out. I don't mind Atlanta airport.
It was super quick, actually, for me.
Yeah.
When I got off the first plane in Atlanta, I literally came out, looked and seen where my transfer was. I walked maybe 50 yards, and I was sitting at the gate of my next. I was in the same exact. I didn't have to go anywhere.
You didn't have to get on the train.
Nope, I did
Oh
not.
man, you didn't get to experience the Atlanta. Please hold on. This train is stopping.
Yeah, everybody said that, and they complained like, "I can't believe you got to do that."
Yeah.
I literally walked 50 yards,
That's nice.
so it was great. Hopefully, it'll be like that when I come back too. But we'll just see.
See, that's interesting. You were in the same concourse because most international flights don't fly out of domestic concourses. So you probably went out of what, D? I would assume. But
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting because most international flights don't fly out the same as domestic. But yeah,
it was really great too because they were testing their new thing where because the planes that went out before me, they made them actually hold their pass and their passport in case they needed it, and then face scan.
yeah.
But when it worked for them, when we came about, they're like, "All right, guys, just come over here and you scan your face and you're good." I literally walked over there, scanned my face, I said, "Good to go."
Did the little scanner like play trumpets or something when it recognized you?
It did.
Yeah.
It did. And then I got on the plane, and they sent a little maiden down to massage my feet and everything before the takeoff while the other people was loading and stuff.
Yeah, Dan was asking if you flew into the E concourse, which yeah, E's gonna be for your international stuff. The last I remember, from domestic, he flew into C or D. I would assume. I can't think I've ever been an A, to be honest with you.
I can tell you.
But hey, I know. I was just curious.
Coming
back
because
in,
I can look at
coming back in, you're probably going to have a concourse change. You're probably going to land in Atlanta in E, and then your flight elsewhere will be off of D or C, I'd imagine. But no, it's interesting that we bring this up because I can't ever remember ever being in the A concourse in Atlanta. I don't think I've ever been there, and I've been to Atlanta Airport hundreds of times. The stuff you think about randomly.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't tell me which one I went into.
Varsity hot dog, yes.
Wait a minute, no. My tickets. I have my tickets upstairs, and I can look on that because it did tell me what gates and stuff I was at. I feel like it was D.
That would make sense, yeah.
So, and it was crazy because I actually could have got off the plane and got straight onto another plane, but I had told James when I got the ticket, I said, I need a little layover. I want to make sure that I can get where I'm going. But I would have made it to the earlier flight, but I was glad I didn't.
Always good to have a little layover. That way, if one's delayed by a couple minutes, you're not.
Yeah, because they were actually loading it when I got there, and that would have. I'm a pressure traveler. Like I'm sweating bullets. Like when I would go and wait on the train, I would be there so early. Is like you'd think I was going through TSA for the train. So, but they do have trains up here, Dan.
I don't.
I don't see me. I don't see me riding it though, because but they do have them. I don't know that they have a train that comes from the States up there. They might, but I definitely would fly here for sure. I can listen. I could, if I didn't have the layover. If I just had the fly to Atlanta and then get straight on a plane and fly here, I could come to Canada faster than I could get to a unique park driving when I'm in West Virginia.
Right. For sure.
That's what's really, really bad. So
yeah, it's amazing how many every time y'all would go to another park, you'd be like, all right, next one in 5 minutes, it's a $5 for All right, next one in 3 minutes. It's a forfeit, and I'm just sitting there shaking my head,
Now-
going,
now-
"Man, come on."
Now here's the thing. Some of those furs did overlap.
Yeah.
Some of them did overlap, but like if you didn't get a set of 5 fur and the next one was a 3 fur, you probably got all 3 parks. So it'll work out if Terry gets all our logs straightened out.
Well, Terry wants to know in the ode to Pee Pee Man, are you going to activate Southbury?
Southbury.
Southbury,
Oh, it's like South Detroit.
like South of Detroit.
We actually I've already activated Southbury then.
Yeah.
Because we're in Southbury right now.
But unlike Detroit, this is the upscale side of town.
Yeah, unlike Detroit, this is the upscale of town. Dude, they have solid black squirrels up here.
Really?
It wigs me out when I see a squirrel. I'm like, that is a solid black squirrel. I'm like, what is going on? Red squirrels, gray squirrels, yeah, I see them all the time, but solid black squirrels, and I mean, you do see a gray one or a red one every now and then, but the majority of them are solid black squirrels. So, I don't know what's up with that.
Brian said there's not much in the south of Barry.
Well, there's a place called Princess Auto, and I'm going to go see if I can buy something for Terry there probably.
What are we looking for as far? When is y'all's next big rove? And I'm going to drop I'm going to drop the link in Discord again because rove spots are probably not going to be spotted on POTA.
Is he talking about the next big rove?
Yeah, the next big rove
this weekend.
Is this weekend, he says.
We don't know what, but we'll do something.
Okay, so she did. See, I would have said Monday, so I would have been wrong.
Monday's drive day. We're gonna get one park on Monday.
Okay, never mind. Monday would have been drive day, so I guess Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are big roves as well.
There you go.
Right? Am I right there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and I do know Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is 20, 20, and 25.
There's a schedule on that site I built for you.
Yeah, there is a schedule on this site right here. I'm going to drop this again.
And make sure you join the Discord as well because the rove spots are more than likely not going to be spotted on the POTA website.
Absolutely. But there's a schedule of the roves on there, even though I don't know that this weekend's is on there because we don't know exactly what we're doing. But there's a schedule, and that will. Don't worry if you're thinking you should be a higher percentage though, because I don't have yesterday's or today's because I don't have those logs yet. Yesterday's will come to me because James does have that, and today's will come to me when Q08 Golf Go Back gets all the emails and gets it straightened out.
That's right.
So
things run a little more relaxed up in Canada, guys. So your logs will be in whenever they get in, eh?
Maybe in 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that log their stuff every 3 months because they only have good enough internet to take pictures.
That's right. Because the Starlink in those pictures doesn't work, right?
No.
Just saying. Kelly Rose joined Discord. Welcome.
That's right. And she got some parks today hunted from it too. So always a good thing. I try to. It's like I try to tell everybody in the Berry Club. You want to be in my Discord if you do POTA. It's just a place to be.
Absolutely. Well, guys, keep like I said at the beginning of the stream, if you know anybody in especially Central Florida, it's a little bit late now. They're getting the brunt of it right now. So check in on your people. Make sure everybody is good down there come tomorrow. This storm is moving a lot slower than Helene, so it's going to dump a lot more rain. So hopefully, if you decided to ride it out in Central Florida, hopefully you will be okay. And we're all thinking about you down there because it looks pretty nasty.
So yes, this is a good question. Viz asked if all 6 should individually email Terry
Yes.
to give him their contacts. Yeah, that would probably make it easier on him. Yeah, I'll just have all 6 email him all their contacts, and that way he can get all of them straightened out. Viz,
As a matter of
that's
fact,
a great.
yeah, that is. But as a matter of fact, Liz, you email Terry and ask about Rachel. Have Rachel email Terry, ask about Seth. Have Seth email Terry and ask about Kaylee. Just make sure you ask about somebody different in the email each time, just to really give them something to think about there.
Yeah, because Terry's retired and he needs a little extra push sometimes. We're trying to keep Terry good and healthy. So
Larry wants to know if it's made landfall yet. I don't believe so, but probably very soon, maybe the next hour or so.
The last time I checked, it had not.
So probably in the next hour.
I know they were already flooding down in some areas last night. So
now what they consider? Well, his actual question was, has it hit? Yes, it's been hitting for the last probably 10 hours just because of the rain bands and everything else. They consider landfall when the eye wall touches land, but the effect of the wind and everything else is well before that point too. So they've been feeling it all day, and they'll feel it all night probably too. So
yeah, Chris says that Terry was supposed to go to all 35 West Virginia parks that he needed.
Yeah,
well, Terry's been too busy letting everybody else activate West Virginia without a permit, so I don't know. He might be running behind on that, Chris. Anyway, we are coming up on the top of the hour. And like I said, if you want to know your percentage on where you're at on the Triple C Challenge, go to that webpage. It may update tonight, and Terry might get it all worked out tonight. So, and that'll help you know where you're at. And if you've missed a park, and it's one that's really close to Barry, we'll probably be doing that again. So you could still pop up into 100%. The important ones to try to hit are these further away rows, like most of the first 19 today, minus the trails. So a lot of the trails will hit in other places. Them will be unique to this trip, just like the 3 big rows that we do when we go camping. So them's the important ones, and 73% is easy if you hit those rows, because the rest of the parks we can go back to multiple times. So anyway, Dan, what you got coming up?
Not a lot. Work the rest of the week, and hopefully get some more Canadian parks from you and the 3 amigos. And like I just said, if you know anybody around Central Florida, keep them in your thoughts, and do not forget about everybody else that's still going through Helene in North Carolina, South Carolina, Western Tennessee, and East Tennessee and Western Virginia area. So don't forget about them just because there's another storm coming. We got a lot of people to think about. A lot of our friends are in Florida and the areas affected by Helene. So hopefully everybody makes it out okay, and we will see you all next Sunday.
Absolutely. And for myself, here shortly, it's going to take me about 5-10 minutes. I will be 5 or 10 minutes late, but I will be over in after chat talking with everybody, and you can ask any questions you want about this trip or about the roads, and we'll be hanging out there for a little bit. I'm not going to stay up real late for sure because I'm tired. I stayed up late last night, and we got up a little early, but I will be in there for a good bit while I got to get a few things done. And other than that, hump me at the parks, guys. Get your Triple C Challenge coin. And I know there's some people that's smoking it right now. I know I can think of at least 7 people that got me at every park today. There's probably more than that, but I mean, if Terry if Terry gets all the logs right, he'll probably forget to send me his own contacts when I come. Terry, you got the logs? He'll be like, yeah, he'll give them to me. He won't log himself. But anyway, we'll see y'all over on the after chat. And if you're not a Patreon and you would like to find out what after chat's about in Patreon, you can go over on Patreon and get a free 7-day trial. And then do the important thing, or you won't know what it's about. Message myself or Dan so we know, and we can get you set up with the benefits. 73, everybody, and we'll catch you on the air tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah.